Alrighty, welcome back to the Silver Lantern Archives. Today we continue on with an Astral Odyssey. The party is almost at the end of their current quest. We're not there just quite yet. They've still got a few more things to wrap up, but I'll let them tell you how far they've made it. Who's got the list for today?
I think last week, for the most part, the main thing that we did was because we had ended previously as walking into this room and finding Shivi tied up, which was odd due to the fact that she is still on Pelly's back. And then also there was some pink-haired dude tied next to her. But we got into a fight with some form of contraption that hit like truck. But I digress. We were eventually able to take them down. Though a lot of us are beaten and bloodied, and Xanth very so much tried to become a corpse. Because that seems to be my luck on my die when I roll death saves. And I think we ended basically is now we're going to deal with the aftermath of the fight.
Yep. Go ahead and take that hero point. And we will join our party seconds after the last golem crashes to the ground. Everyone is tired, hurt. Corvallis is on the ground, unconscious, but everybody else is still standing. I mean, save for Bailey, who got
to stabilize him, though, right?
Yes, he is stabilized him.
I can get Corvallis at first level cure wounds.
You hear groaning from Bayleaf in the back.
Bayleaf, are you alright?
Yeah, I'll be good. He gives you a thumbs up from the ground.
Alright. Fair enough. Okay, that needs. I am going to go talk with this pink-haired dude.
You can see he is still hanging limply from his chain. Shivi next to him still flickering in and out of existence. You're putting that on Corvallis?
Yeah.
11 HP to Corvallis. Since he's not in, I will put it on his sheet. As Corvallis, you do come back to after the last thing you remember is being in the midst of the battle.
He slowly just stumbles himself up, trying to just look around, and he winces a little, but kind of shrugs it off. He's becoming all too familiar with pain as of recently.
You'll hear the footsteps of Lynn and Pelly coming in, having been attacked from behind and only just catching up. Both are breathing heavy and look pretty scraped up as well.
Oh God, I want to get out of this. God, if they've taken place. Xanth is going to see if she can shake the pink-haired one awake?
Oh, he's still awake. He's just limp. Weak.
Fair. Xantha's gonna look at him and go, look, I know you're tired, but do you know where the damn key is to get you out of here?
You see, he looks around before nodding to a chest down to the south.
Which one? This one or this one?
That one over there.
I'm assuming it's gonna be the one that I'm in front of, because I have no idea where you're pinging at.
Yeah, that pinged right in front of you.
You didn't ping on the right layer.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, CC's ping is blue, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that time. There it goes. Alrighty. So I'm gonna look around. Ugh. Mira, stand back just in case this explodes. I'm just gonna open the chest.
You
Got it.
see in this chest, there is a number of pile of gold and silver pieces scattered throughout the chest itself.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't care about them right now. I am looking for a key or some kind of rune to get them out.
You start to dig through it, shifting through the large piles of gold, moving them this way and that way, before eventually finding something different. Inside the piles of metal coins, you find a small velvet bag.
I am going to pick it up and open it.
Inside it is a very ornate-looking key. You can see at the end of it there is a what looks like an eye worked into the back of the key.
I am going to limp my ass back over here and go. Is it this?
He's
And
gonna
show it
nod.
to the pink hair. Is there anything special that I need to do, or can I just unlock you?
He shakes his head.
Okay. I'm gonna undo his binds.
As you move forward, you don't see a keyhole where there naturally should be one.
Gonna tap the key to the manacles and see if that works.
You do, and you see the eye blink in your hand, and then the manacles vanish, and he collapses to the ground.
Alright. You're solid. Fucking hell, Shivi, please let this work. And I'm gonna tap it to hers.
As you go down, he's going to grab you by the wrist. It's a weak hold, but he still seems to be trying to stop you.
How do I get her down?
Oh yeah. Soul displacement.
You're not wrong, I know that. Her body is behind us.
Need to deal with whatever separated her. It's solidifying her instead of launching her instead of the Astral. You hear his voice is very hoarse.
Do you know how to do that? Because all we have is a crystal the soul crystal.
You see it?
Belly.
You see Pelly jogs forward to hand you the gem. Lynn is going over to check on Mira.
Mira will just
Yeah.
nod at her, letting her know that she's doing well enough, and continues to watch Xanth, ready to have her back if anything were to go down.
Xanth is gonna hold up the crystal to the man.
He nods. May I?
She hands it to him.
He's gonna take it and start looking it over. Very carefully, turning it gingerly in his hands. Careful now that he sees that the gem itself is cracked. What do you do while he's working?
Don't get jumped.
What did you say?
I make sure that we don't get jumped.
Fair. Since it's taking him a little bit to examine it, what is the rest of the party doing while he is doing this?
Are there any, I don't know, can I look over one of these robots we just killed and see if I can grab any particularly interesting little bits of machinery?
The whole thing's interesting. It'll do a lot of damage to the outside and to the core, but it's still hunks of metal.
Okay. Can I try to grab, can I try to basically grab some of the more important looking pieces to its running? I don't want to grab a whole car engine, but
you're not entirely sure what would be important to this. You could fiddle around in the core and make an Arcana check if you want.
Okay. Fuck it, I'll give it a go. And can one of the things I get from my star map is the guidance cantrip. Can I cast that on myself for an extra D4?
Yeah. You have prep to do it, so you cast the spell first, and then you go to Tinker. If it was for a reactionary one, you wouldn't be able to do it that way. But since you are going to do something, you can do it like that.
Sick. Okay. This 4 and Arcana. No.
You start to tinker with the inside, seeing what you can figure out, but it is a very strange construction of magical devices, so you're not really sure what you're doing, and you end up clicking for something, and it ends up stabbing you in the center of your hand, and you see a good bit of blood spill out of it as you retract your hand, starting to rub it, trying to clear off some of the blood so you can see the extent of the damage. And that's when you notice the center core is starting to whirl again.
What? Bring the fucking robot back to life.
As you see, it gets a foot
just
under
a souvenir for my friend.
And it starts to stand.
What the fuck?
How many other people see that?
Oh, everybody does.
Shoot it? Try to shoot it?
You can.
Okay. Oh, why? Will you roll my dice, please? 20?
It is currently facing towards you, Kenneth.
Okay. Then... Alright, I'm still just trying to get roll 20, or not roll 20, D&D Beyond roll my dice. Roll 20 character sheet. Don't betray me. Here we go. Why
You
are
managed
you at
to hit it.
advantage?
Dead center of the chest.
Okay.
4 damage.
Yeah, sorry. I think I had Radiant Soul clicked. I don't
Yeah.
have Radiant Soul clicked. Why are you
Probably
still
not
adding
too
that?
smart. No, that is rating damage. I don't know.
Interesting. Anyways,
But as always, it looks like it does less damage as you're catching it full in the chest as the bullet bounces off the chassis as it stands and looks at you for a moment before turning away from you as it starts to move this way.
it starts to move.
Yeah, it's walking.
I'm
Does it,
I'm gonna move Pelly behind, like basically switch places with Pelly.
Ellie's going to jump out of the way, trying to keep Shivi as safe as she can.
is it like, what is it? Is it just like moving? What's it doing?
it's
Oh, what
marching.
did I do?
As it comes over here to the man that is looking over the soul gem. You see it standing over him with its weapon kind of held a little aloft. Xanth, do you do anything?
If it looks like I am actively getting in the way, if he's gonna attack the elf, he's going through me.
You see it has the weapon up and its other arm just kind of hanging next to it. But once it gets there, it just kind of stops.
I'm just gonna actively put myself in between this thing and what is most likely the only person that can currently get us out of here.
You see, he hasn't even noticed the thing looming over him. He is completely absorbed as he has reached into one of his pockets and taken out a small monocle and fitted it to his eye.
Fair.
Bag.
Targ will come over.
My bag. Where?
I
You see this thing suddenly start to turn and look at you, Xanth,
uh-huh.
and it starts to walk towards you.
Do
Yeah.
I try to get between it and Zan?
Yeah?
Xanth holds a hand. Yeah, Xanth holds a hand out
Towards Caneth or towards it?
towards Canis.
Then I will need an athletics check, Xanth.
Hand ignored. Hand ignored. Or what kind of check do you need?
It's only the athletics checks from Caneth as well. That's
Okay.
with disadvantage. Damn, Xanth.
It was a 15 on the die and a nat 20.
I don't know if I can.
I'm tired,
even
but I will
beat your
protect my
athletics.
brother.
No, I've only got a 14.
You see it moves forward and runs into Caneth. Caneth bumping against its chest, and it kind of leans its big head down, the eyes glowing this brilliant red, and then you see it reach out with its left hand, and grabs Caneth by the waist. The other one coming out, but then you see right before it stabs you, it stops, pulls up the blade to look at it, then shake it, and then it slams it against the wall behind you as you see it cracks the stone, and then the blade sinks back into the arm, and you see another hand pop out. It takes Caneth by the waist, picks him up, sets him over there, then turns, starts to walk, bumps into Xanth, notices the Xanth, picks up the Xanth, continues to walk forward with the Xanth.
he just has no, come back with my sister. Stop.
He puts you down right next to Lynn, and he points out the medical kit that is on her hip. She is very confused as it continues to walk this way.
What the hell is going on?
Why? What did I?
Mira's following this thing.
I'm also following it. Oh, this is a pillar. I have to go around. Excuse
You see it is going to
Yeah.
rifle around in that back corner.
Wait.
Hello, robot man. Can you understand words? Do you? My God, what is this thing? Robot dude.
You see it stands up after having found what it's looking for, as it's carrying now a single belt bag. I don't think belt's the right word, but single strand, single over the shoulder bag. That's what it is. It's satchel more than a bag. As it looks over at you and tilts its head, Mira, and then it makes this massive grinding, breaking metal sound that comes out of the front of it.
Can I look at where the sound is coming from?
It's coming
there
from
anything
right
like-
around the faceplate, but roll me perception.
Okay. Oh. Nice. Oh, did it not find? There we go.
You see, Mira, there are sparks coming out of its neck just underneath the faceplate of this thing, and it looks like, if you had to guess, something in the head was damaged during y'all's fight.
Okay,
Then-
Mira's going.
Go ahead.
Mira's going to reach a hand up towards this thing's face and see if it reacts in any sort of way to her moving her hand closer.
It doesn't, but it does start to walk back this way.
Okay. We're just gonna follow this thing.
Hold on. So the strange pink-haired man asked for a bag, and the metallic creature went and got a bag. Were these things his protectors or something? Did we? Oh. Did we
You
just-
see
did we-
him hold up a weak hand and shake it side to side. As a general, somewhat kind of motion.
I'm sorry we hurt your robot friend?
All he manages to cough up is the word corrupt.
Oh. Okay.
Did we kick the corruption out of them at least?
There's a shrug as he's still looking at the gem. But you see the robot hold it out, and he takes it, setting it on the ground, and he starts to rifle through it.
You think if I let the other one stab me in the hand, it'll wake up too?
I don't think we should wake up more than just the one for now, Kenneth.
I am talking to myself.
What were you saying?
Telling Canis, don't think about it.
Do
Well,
you
it's
need me
too
to
late.
hurt
I've
myself
already
in order-
thought about it.
Do you need me to hurt myself in order to awaken the other one?
You have
No.
already.
No. You are
Who
going
else
to
died?
sit and not touch anything.
As a matter of fact, sit
Okay.
on your hands. You have almost died. I don't even know how many times at this point.
I think the current count is 3.
Somehow I feel like that is probably a lot higher than anyone has. None of us want to know how high that toll is.
Well, you said today. I think in total it's been about 97.
Yeah,
What?
by the God.
How
I-
old are you?
I don't have an age. I don't have an age. Fail births aren't given ages.
That is not how that works. But I don't have the time nor the energy right now to handle that. For Corvallis, you are not allowed to do anything that would bring you mental or physical bodily harm.
To be frank,
Or,
Captain, I don't think he can do anything at this point. Look at him. I don't think he can even move.
he can move just barely.
Okay, he just goes over and like sits in like the corner.
You can see Bayleaf is leaning against the wall next to the door with Callan watching from the other side, making sure y'all, if anything comes from behind, it'll run into him and Bayleaf first. And if y'all get blown up, he's not in the center of it.
Real.
That's fair.
Somebody's got to be alive to get y'all back up.
Valid. Alright. Xantha's gonna turn to the pink-haired man and go, alright, is there anything we can do to help you so that we can get the fuck out of here?
You see he shakes his head. And he starts taking out long, delicate tools from his bag. And he starts to mess with the gemstone, or the crystal that he's holding.
Does it seem like that's going to take a while?
You have no idea what he's doing, so.
Alright. In that case, Xanth is going to look at the group and go, alright. Well then, while he's doing that, there's 2 of us and a lot of injured. And Xanth's gonna pull out a healer. First thing she's gonna do is start to patch up Pelly.
Fair enough.
Are we taking a short rest?
I think Xanth's just patching up with the Mealer's kit.
Yep.
That should have a number
So,
equal to the number of hit dice you have as well.
yes, but it obviously is not gonna have it in the equation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's to Pelly. And we are level 6, so that's 14.
Yeah. That did not go the way it was supposed to.
Oh, by the gods.
There we go. As she nods, looking significantly better, but she is still staying. She looks like a cat ready to pounce. She's in a lower crouch, her hands on her blades. So
Yep, that
it's
sounds
not in the
about right.
way with her bow. The moment you finish, she stows the blades again and gets her bow back out. She doesn't want anything to happen to her charge while she's still here.
Fair enough. based to how things are going, Xanth is going to look at Lynn and just nod to Mira, and then is then going to go walk up to Targrim.
While Xanth was healing up Pelly and doing that, Targrim, is there a is this a backpack right here?
Yes.
Does it look interesting?
It looks like an old bag.
Targrim's gonna take a look at it and open it up, look inside.
You see that in it are just some old traveling gear and whatnot. Looks like bedroll, spare clothes, stuff of that nature.
So an explorer's pack, basically.
Pretty much.
Spare explorer's pack if anyone needs one.
Gotcha.
Why are the NPCs' health bars so thick?
Because they have NPC polls. But is anybody else up to anything?
Mira's basically standing
Go
guard
out.
over Pepe.
Corvallis is sitting in his corner.
Fair.
Just kind of following around the machine that stabbed me.
No, it hasn't moved. After it handed off the bag, it's just been standing there.
She just kind of circles around it a few times, just kind of squinting at it.
It doesn't move at all. It seems stationary now. You can hear the whirling of the mechanisms in its chest. But after a few more moments, you'll see the other Shivi start to flicker more and then suddenly disappear.
What happened to Shivi?
What?
Give it a moment.
Didn't look great.
You
Mira's
see,
immediately looking at Shivi on Pele's back.
she hasn't changed at all. But you see the pink-haired man's hands are moving faster and faster despite his tired appearance and how thin he's become. You see he is working very quickly on this gem. He looks like he's focusing specifically on crack. And after about a minute more, suddenly you see, as he's working, the gem crack completely in half and then turn to dust.
What?
Oh god.
You see Pelly suddenly look behind her as responding to something. As Mira, you're standing close, along with Xanth, both of y'all hear a whimper and a long exhale from Shivi. But nothing after that.
Mira's gonna check for a pulse.
Roll me medicine. You feel it, but it's weakening fast.
Oh, shit.
I was going to report this to Xanth.
We need to get the fuck out of here. Xanth is
no-
going. What?
I was going to say, we're just going to look at the pink-haired man and ask him, what did you just do?
You see he has grabbed on to the iron golem's torso and is trying to pull himself to his feet.
Well, you got her heart beating for one, because it wasn't. Do you know the way out of here?
You see him hold the finger as he stumbles forward. He is going to grab Shivi's shoulder, and his hand is going to begin to glow. You can see his lips moving as if he's doing some kind of chant or incantation.
He's the best chance we've got.
You see Shivi's eyelids begin to glow pure white as her skin seems to crack. The light moving throughout.
Oh,
You see
The light
the
moving?
body. It seems to be pushing out of her, but you see as her body begins to twitch, its belly lets out a gasp as you can hear the sizzle of meat. Pelly immediately starts to try to cut herself free.
I'll grab a dagger and help cut Pelly free.
She does, and in doing so, you get burnt as well, as Shivi's body has turned red hot.
That's fine. I am just not even paying attention to the pain. I'm just cutting Shivi off of Pelly and, like, carefully laying her on the ground so that this can be finished.
You see the back of Pelly's armor has been warped and burned through, nasty burns covering most of her back. She's not as bad as Canum, but
Jesus.
bad. And after a couple more seconds, the light in Shivi starts to die off, and everything goes quiet once again. The pink-haired man collapses.
Okay. I'm going to hold my hand just above Shivi if she's still putting off excess heat.
It seems like she's putting off a lot, but it doesn't seem as much. Touching her will still probably burn.
Okay. In that case, I am going to do a medicine check myself.
Gotcha. You see the most important thing that you notice is she is now breathing steadily. And the cracks that appeared in her skin are starting to disappear.
All right. Which means he's alive. Is she starting to cool off slowly?
Yes, she is.
All right. She's stabilizing. I'm now going to check on this man. I have a feeling I know what's wrong, but we're gonna
start tying Shivi to her so we can get ready to carry her out of here.
And you can feel she is still currently too hot to pick up.
Mira will sit down next to Shivi on the floor until she feels cool enough for her to start tying her to herself.
Gotcha. Lynn seems extremely tired and extremely worried, but is here to help if they can. It takes a few minutes, but he looks like he is dealing with extreme exhaustion. Fatigue. Doesn't look like he's eaten or drinking in a very long while. Effects of starvation and dehydration setting in. He's in a bad way, but he's alive.
Okay. Is he currently unconscious?
No, he's just breathing heavy as he's trying. He hasn't tried to get back up yet, but it looks like he's just not strong enough to hold himself up at the moment.
Fair. Kelly, let me see your back real fast. Make sure that you're good enough to move.
There's a nod. She's in a bad way, but no worse than getting caught in front of a dragon. If given the proper treatment, they won't even scar.
Alright.
But her armor's in pretty bad condition, and will likely need replacing.
Well, we're gonna need to replace your armor there last, but I've got burn cream that will handle the worst of this, and Xanth will take out the burn cream and just coat what she can deal with at the moment.
Helly's staying strong and staying crouched, making sure she has both Lynn and Mira cocked, so she knows where they are. But she remains quiet for the moment, her teeth gritted against the pain.
Yep, this is... Unfortunately, above table, Xanth was not taught to gentleness when it comes to healing. She is doing her best. But we're going to put the burn cream on her back, and then pack up the med kit, and look at Lynn and go, can you hear Miller? Can you patch up Mira for me?
There's a nod as her hands start to move a little bit more, trying to finish up what she was doing when Mira was moving about. So let me get that roll. As Mira, you get 15 HP back.
And then I'm going to pull out my water skin. I am going to pull out my water skin, and then I'm going to pull out my meth kit and pull out the tin cup in it. And I am going to pour a little bit of the water into it and hand it to the pink-haired man.
He is going to gingerly take it from you and take a soft sip. Not taking a lot, but more taking in a little bit of water and swirling it in his mouth.
Yeah. Basically, I'm going to give him just a little bit at a time.
What is Cainith, Corvallis, and Targrim doing during this time, as well as Mira?
Mira's getting patched up by Lynn, and she's also sitting on the floor right next to Shivi, keeping an eye on her temp, and as soon as Shivi's going to be cooled down enough, she's getting ready to tie her on her back.
Corvallis was told to sit in the corner. He is sitting in the corner.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Targum is going to continue to look around the room. He already checked that bag, and all it had was pretty much an explorer's kit. So he's going to check the chests and other bags he sees around the place.
Alrighty, after looking through some of them, you find a fair number of things. One of the chests contains 5 bolts of what looks like silk. One of the other chests contains what looks like a set of very shiny scaled armor. It's made of this white material. And in some of the urns, you do find more piles of gold and silver. The most interesting thing, however, is the bag that was next to where he was tied up, the pink-haired man.
This one?
Yes. As when you reach into it, you see your arm goes deeper than you would have expected without feeling anything.
Hey yo.
Likely a bag of holding.
Well, what have we here? And Targrim like reaches, takes out his pole and like extends it to his full length and like kind of starts pushing it down into it.
Goes completely in the
Goes
bag.
completely in the-
Disappears.
Well, this is useful. Bag of holding. My friend, does this belong to you?
He is still just sipping the water, trying to stabilize himself. He doesn't respond.
His bag is behind you, Targrim. I would suggest to grab whatever you think is necessary and get ready to move.
I tell you, Captain?
Do note,
I'm going to
Targrim,
take
your
it.
staff is currently in the bag. Not in
Yeah,
your
I'm going
hand.
to take it. Yeah, I'm going to take my staff back out and put it back in its little holster. I'm going to go
You
around
can't
to all the.
find your staff.
Huh?
It slipped into the bag, and as you reach around, you don't feel the bag or feel the staff anywhere. You don't feel anything.
See, is this what I think it is?
Is it?
Don't.
Out of
I
character.
swear to the gods.
Out of character. Is this a goddamn bag of devouring?
You would need to get it identified for that.
Are you serious?
Targrim is
Tar-
gonna like look around even harder, trying to find his staff.
You do not find it.
Targrim, is something wrong?
I can't find my staff. I just
Flip the bag inside out.
Put it in the bag.
Just flip the bag inside out.
I'm going to flip the bag inside out.
You manage to flip it inside out, but nothing comes out. You see extreme burns along the inside, however.
What the hell is this thing?
It's got burns in it that might be damaged.
Oh,
You
that's
see
just-
the pink-haired man nod.
Oh, that's just fantastic. I lost my stuff.
It's somewhere in the Astral.
You see he shakes his head.
Is it still in the bag? Targrim looks at him with hope.
He nods.
Can you fix it?
There's a shrug, but then followed by a nod, as if to say, probably.
If he can't, Abbey might.
So anything we put in the bag is still there. You just need to fix it to get it out.
He nods.
I'm going to accept that, and Targrim will go around and start dumping all the gold into the bag.
Okay.
All the money, pretty much anything that looks interesting, even that other bag that had just the explorer's bag.
Alrighty. You are able, if anybody would like to write it down, able to
I've
find
got it. Oop, that's the wrong thing. Do.
I kept track of what I found in the group chat. As soon as I find out how much gold and silver it is,
in
I'll put it
total, you find 480 gold pieces, 1,200 silver pieces, a number of gems and jewelry found inside the urns. You have the chests full of 5 silks, and there is the bag, and then that white armor.
Can the chest wait? Can the chest fit inside the bag too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Targum is just gonna toss all the chests in there too. Why not?
Fair enough.
We can use them for storage on the main ship.
You'll also have a bag of holding handout.
I bet
Damn
it
it.
fits.
I'm editing it. Alrighty.
You see, after a couple more minutes, the pink-haired man stumbles back up to his feet, his legs shaking underneath it. He is then going to point to the bag at Targrim and then hold his hands up in prayer, and then point to himself.
I'm not quite sure what you mean by that.
You see, he points to the bag again and then back to himself.
Oh, Targum will hand it over to him.
He nods and puts his hands in that kind of steepled prayer. This time you recognize it as pleading. As he puts his hand on the robot next to him, and after a couple seconds, it completely dissolves, disappearing into the bag. And he's going to stumble over here and do the same thing with the other one.
Is that all 3 of them? Or ignoring the one that exploded? Or wait, how many were there?
2.
There's just 2.
Oh, there was 2.
He is then going to attempt to stumble back, but he trips on his way past Pelly and he's going to hit the ground again.
Can I attempt to catch him?
Yeah.
What do I need?
You could just catch him. It's not that hard.
Oh, I'm gonna catch him and wrap an arm underneath him.
You
Are you
feel
okay?
he is very thin.
This man needs food, water, rest, and a lot more food. I think, Corvallis, I think this guy has you beat for being thin.
The sooner we get out of here, the sooner we can get everyone some medical attention.
Xantha's going to look at the pink-haired man. Do you know the way out?
You see he nods.
Alright. Point the way. Mira, you're up front with me.
Understood, Captain. At this point, I'm assuming Shivi would have gotten
Yes.
cool enough to. So Mira has Shivi tied to her and is ready to go up the front with Xanth.
Carvala, stay in the middle of the group.
Okay.
Lynn,
Lynn is still with you. It's just yellow moving again, so I'm taking him off the screen again.
yeah.
She is currently in the back near Pelly, trying to fret over her wounds.
Fair. Targrim, stand just behind me. That way he can lead the way. But he's not... I'm gonna abandon the... Put it this way. Stay behind me so that he can point to where we're going, but isn't in the... but is still in the middle so that he doesn't get fucked up if something happens.
Aye, Captain. CC question. These statues here. This one is holding a spear, right?
Yep, it is a stone spear, not actually a full actual spear.
Yes, but it's how. This might be stupid, but I'm thinking maybe I could like break off the half of this spear, like the bottom half, and use it and give it to the guy and use as a cane.
You could.
Will help. See, all right. So Targum's gonna go over here and attempt to snap it off at the fist.
Roll me an attack action.
Karate chop.
You hit it, do some damage. You barely even crack it.
Targum shakes his hand out, but it does crack, right?
Like half a centimeter. You'd have to be wailing on it for a long time to get it to break.
Targrim,
Yes.
Xanth hands the man a quarterstaff.
Well, that works too.
He is going to take it. And he is going to put his full weight on it. He gives you a nod of appreciation.
Let's
And
get the
then he
fuck out of
begins to
here.
move. Slowly, but steadily. Is there anything for anyone else as y'all are moving?
Nothing else in this room, right? I tossed everything in the bag of holding.
Pretty much.
We're just looking out for traps and just trying to get out of here alive.
Fair. You'll first end up coming back into this room. You see it's just as tantalizing as it was before. The jade statue still shattered across the ground.
If I recall, you said like a bunch of these coins were made of iron, right?
No, they were made of wood.
Yeah.
I thought you said there was some that were made of iron.
Mm-mm. They're wood painted.
Oh.
Nothing in here is worth keeping.
Correct. As
It's
y'all
a full treasury.
As y'all are coming up here, y'all see as y'all get to the things, y'all start to jump over, but he holds a hand up. And he starts going to mess with the wall.
Oh wait, wasn't that chest like really fancy? Like the one that Prim was fucking with?
Yeah,
I'm gonna put that chest in the bag of holding too. It's a fancy chest. Why not?
fair enough. And suddenly you'll see the ground close back up. And he waves y'all along.
Oh.
And he leads y'all all the way back into this room way up here and through Mira in the wrong room. Come here, Mira. Oh, Mira launched herself even further. Go back there, Mira.
I've disappeared.
I fixed it.
Thank you.
As y'all come out back into this room where y'all have been stuck in for a while, he continues to make his way through, leading y'all back up to the very door in which you came through.
Oh,
And y'all
no.
know to be an
Nice.
illusion.
That door is an illusion.
He nods, and then he starts to run his finger along the edge of the illusionary door. Doesn't look like he's doing anything
Can't
to y'all.
quiet He sighs. Kenneth sighs and says under his breath, "We're gonna be here till we fucking die."
It'll be fine, Kenneth. I'll be right back. Targum is gonna go while he's working on that door. Targum's gonna go back to that library and just like stuff all the books in the bag of holding. I finally have a bag of holding. I'm going to use it.
Fair enough. What's everybody else do while he's touching the door?
Keeping an eye out for threats.
Okay, it's just as empty
Same
as
with
it was
me.
last time. Anything from Kenneth or Corvallis?
What do you need from me?
I'm just checking to see if you're doing anything.
No, Corvallis has basically been told just to follow and not do anything, so he hasn't really done anything.
I think
You-
Kenneth is just kind of watching over Xanth and the pink-haired guy working.
You get a hand on your shoulder, Kenneth.
Ew.
And you turn
Hey,
around to see Calla.
Who?
You alright,
Uh,
man?
Hello?
You've been stressed this whole time.
Oh.
We'll get out of here, no worries. He gives you a, he tries to give you a smile. Doesn't really look all that good considering he's bleeding from the lip.
I think Kenneth kind of chuckles a little bit at that and says, "Yeah, that sounded more convincing if you didn't look on the edge of death." And I'll give him my last spell slot of Cure Wounds.
Fair. Yeah, I've been worse.
Yeah, well, I assume you've been better too. You'll get a measly 6 hit points back,
It is.
because my dice hate me.
More than he had.
Yeah.
And it's that point, Xanth and Mira, you see this guy try the door handle. Do y'all say anything to him as he does it? You know this to be an
No.
illusion.
I already told them it was an illusion. So I'm just... I'm pretty sure this man is about to make a fool out of all of us, so...
Kenneth is just kind of watching, not expecting much, looking very resigned.
He opens the door.
Yep.
What the
Yep, there
fuck?
we go.
Kenneth just says, "What the fuck?"
I've stopped questioning magic bullshit a while ago. Let's get out of here.
Targarum, let's go.
Oh my god.
How much weight would you have said I've already put in this bag?
I don't know, a significant amount. You have a library in there.
Just the books, not the shelves.
Yeah, but books weigh a lot.
I will offer the pink-haired guy an arm to help him up the stairs, in addition to his pole, if
He
he wants
takes
it.
it. He absolutely takes it and starts walking up the staircase.
Yeah. I think Kenneth is like just looking so relieved to get out of here, and he's like, "If you didn't look like it would kill you instantly, I'd give you a hug." Thank God.
As the party arrives out of the Abbey. And back into the Abbey proper.
Oh, relatively fresh air. Because we're still in that forest, right? That weird ass forest.
Yeah.
Mira's going to turn to Xanth and be like, I say we go straight back to the boat, yeah?
That is indeed the goal.
And
Let's
agree
not
with
waste
that
any time.
wholeheartedly.
Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I was just agreeing. I was just like agreeing with you wholeheartedly.
Alright. Here we go.
One moment, please. Where's the thing I need? It's the thing I need.
I ate it.
Stop doing that.
I can't help it. The things you make are tasty.
Ah, here's what I need. Oh, here zoomed way out more than I meant to be. As y'all come around the corner, you see there is somebody else coming around the corner.
Who is it?
It's your boy, Dex!
It's Dex! Oh my god! It's a person we know!
Xanth is going to stop everyone from going forward and go, I have seen too many fucking illusions.
I think
Did I
Candace
shoot
was
him?
literally about to start, like, running.
But as he comes around the corner, we are going to take a 15-minute break. We'll be back
Okay.
at the half-hour mark.
Okay.
All right.
And we are back. Thank you for holding. And yet again, I suppose, y'all didn't have to wait very long. But we are back. And just as Dex walks around the corners, Captain, it's good y'all made it back. And he reaches up with one hand and launches a bolt of magic high into the sky. You can see it spiraling up before it goes off in like a large firework, detonating so all can see.
Mira has ran up to Dex and is hugging him very, very tightly and just not letting go.
It's good to see. Well, it's good to see you, Dex. So, anything happened the last 3 days?
I don't think Corvallis has met Dex. Has he?
I think I met.
Yeah,
Yeah, y'all went on to the island, the boat. Right.
Yeah, we did once.
That's true.
Yeah, oh, yeah, okay, we did.
So we're just making sure because I'm like, I don't remember.
Dex has met. They have met once.
Yeah.
So, what's happened the last 3 days?
I don't know about 3 days, but it's been about 2 weeks since you've been gone.
Oh,
2 fucking weeks!
Yes.
That tracks. I did tell you that we were off plane. By the
Why
gods,
can't
tell me this
time ever
out.
work normally?
I don't fucking know. Is the island cleared?
As far as we're able to see, we've left it in a state where those that wish to build here haven't come in yet, as we've been trying to figure out what happened to a lot of you before making any decisions. He is going to pat Mira on the head.
He just squeezes
Okay,
tighter. She's not letting go.
personal recommendation. I say as I point over to like the entrance. No one and nothing should go down there ever.
You look, Corvallis, and there's not an entrance there.
Yeah, but what the? Captain, I think we need to leave now. This place is starting to get weirder.
Fucking
We need to
door is gone
leave.
again.
We need to leave for a variety of reasons.
Very, very, very astute. I would very much like to get out of here. Out of character, would Dex be the one who would have like handled sending that letter I mentioned a while back?
No, I believe that's Misty. Yeah, that would have been Misty. Or Trinity.
I'm pretty sure it was Misty.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's get out of here. We need medical. That and points at the pink-haired man. That man needs food.
So much medical attention.
Yeah, everyone else suffered severe medical stuff, so we need to treat them.
So have you, Carvallis. You are also getting treated.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I
Corvallis?
suffered a few-
Died.
Corvallis, you don't get a choice. That is an order from your captain. You're getting medical treatment.
Yes, Captain.
Can I get a perception
That would
check
be
from the
good.
party? Actually, no. Just look at passives down here. Jay, what's your passive?
My passive?
Passive
Passive perception is 16.
Alrighty, Xanth, Hamish, and just those two. You'll hear a crashing from somewhere in the distance.
Oh, what
Looks
the fuck was that?
around. Yeah, looks around. Xanth already has weapon and shield up and is looking around.
You don't.
Kenneth has his gun drawn.
You don't see anything in the room until you see movement out of the corner of your eye off behind you. And Kenneth, as you turn, you see something on the roof looking down at you.
I look up.
She's
Oh
here.
god.
Who's here?
She is here.
Wait a minute. Kenneth isn't on the map.
Oh, is he not?
Yeah, I'm not on the.
No.
Oh, it's Rosebud! Oh,
Let's throw you on
I'm
the...
about to get fucking squished.
Boop, there's Kenneth.
Kenneth is gonna try to shove the pink-haired man to someone safer and try to get everyone else out of the line of fire. He will just kind of go forward and accept his fate.
Yep. Xanth is gonna catch the pink-haired man, give him to Corvallis, and go, "You're not allowed to cast spells. Hold this man.
Yeah.
Make sure he
Oh,
stays
wait.
standing."
Wait, is this one of the birds that we were using as like flotation devices or something?
Kenneth from under a mountain of fluff just says, "Rosebud. Her name is Rosebud. She's a wonderful companion. Please don't refer to her as a flotation device."
You see Kenneth is getting nuzzled to death by a giant chicken. A giant pink chicken. Oh, that's not something I was expecting to see today. He said when chickens fly. As he is going to take a step back as the chicken in question glares at him.
Not
Chickens
a
can
chicken.
always fly.
Also, her name is Rosebud. Again.
If Rosebud is here, where is the rest of them?
You don't hear a response, but Mira, you do hear, "I've got you, no worries. We're going to make it back to the ship safely. Everything's fine." But, Xanth, this chicken got a rider.
Yeah, no, I'm going right for that rider and plucking said rider off of the chicken, and I am going to sit down and hug my child.
Oh, and I've been kidnapped. Welcome back.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. She is getting an immediate medical checkup.
You can see she's pretty banged up, cuts along her face, arms. There's a significant amount of bandages around her sword arm.
Does she still have her sword?
Yeah,
Does the sword have any stones in it?
it does not.
Is the bundle still wrapped to my hip?
It is not.
Okay, so after making sure that she is okay and that these are all superficial wounds, sees that she has the sword, that Elwyn has the sword on her hip. Xanth is going to pat her hip, realize that it's gone, and just honestly just a sigh of relief and just hugs Elwyn. And is honestly probably just in Aquin at this point, just thanking Poseidon that she's okay.
Looks like you've been through a lot.
We are getting off. We are getting off of this godforsaken island. And
Yeah.
if we never come back, it will be too soon.
Everybody's moving back towards the Phiren, so we can catch up with them there.
All right.
Everyone else safe?
Yeah.
No issues at all?
I wouldn't say there were no issues, but everybody's recovering.
Let's go. I'm just. Let's go. I would like it to
I'm
be known I
gonna-
do not put Elowen down. She is getting carried on my hip.
How many birds, or not birds, how many, people can Rosebud carry? And,
2 mediums.
I don't know, 2 mediums? Alright, I'm gonna offer, who's other than Mr. Pink-haired guy is very, very injured? Is it Vivian Lynn?
Corvallis has 4
I-
levels of exhaustion.
On the other
Shivi's
side.
still
Okay.
tied to Mira's back right now.
So
Oh.
effectively, the worst is the pink-haired guy, Corvallis with 4 levels of exhaustion, Xanth with 3, then Shivi, who is unconscious, but tied to Mira's back.
Alright, if we want to, maybe we could put Mr. Pink-haired dude and Chibi on Rosebud?
Considering Shivi is already tied up, probably best to do Corvallis.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say, recommendation above table. Do not try to take this girl away from Mira right now.
Yeah, probably not the best idea.
Don't.
Corvallis, you are going to. One moment. And Xanth is going to look at the pink haired man. What the fuck is your name?
He tries to cough it out, but you can see there is a bit of blood.
Targa will offer him his water skin just to wash out the blood, give him something to drink.
You hear from Lynn. I don't think he should be talking right now. He's in a pretty rough state. He might have torn his throat up.
Probably. Corvallis, you're going to keep him on Rosebud.
What do you mean keep him on Rosebud?
Corvallis, you get picked up by the bird.
Oh my god.
It means you're going to sit behind him and make sure he doesn't fall off.
Okay, all right, I'll tie him to the bird.
No,
You are put
Don't
on
You
the
are-
bird's
notify
back.
him.
You are going to
Honestly,
sit there and keep a hold.
I don't think he kind of looks at Rosebud. I don't think they could fall off the bird if they actually wanted to.
You see she fluffed up her chest looking all proud.
I love this fucking bird.
Fair enough.
You've seen that bird manhandle me. They're fine. They're
Hey.
so fine.
I have. Let's go.
I shall lead my bird.
The bird's
Follow
happily
death.
bopping behind Kenneth.
I'm gonna follow death.
Yeah, Mira's he's no longer hugging Dex because he needs to be able to move, but she still has her arm like linked with his and is holding it probably a little bit too tight.
He has taken it and nestled it kind of in the crook of his arm, and it is rubbing at your wrist and the back of your hand in a comforting gesture. Something you've seen him do a lot.
She's not letting go of this man.
You hear from Elowen. I can walk, you know. I'm in better state than you are. The Draco Lich wasn't that bad.
A what?
Xanth just hugs her tighter and goes, the shit that has been going on.
There's
For
a
my
fucking
perspective-
dragon lich.
We are going to address that later.
Did you get any samples?
The shit that has gone on the last 3 days for us. No, you are not allowed to. You are not allowed. No. Samantha, stop putting this child down.
Fair.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the use of your legs while you were able to use them, lass.
I suppose. Don't worry, I'll be able to get him back soon enough. She can't do this forever.
I'd
No.
be just surprised.
No, I
think-
wouldn't.
I think the term is challenge accepted.
I don't think Xanth can handle Miss Kamara right now. And she's going to make sure I do my laps when I need to.
Oh,
Oh, at hearing that, Mary is going to turn towards Elo and, like, turn her head back very quickly. The other kids, are they okay?
Yeah, they're still back on the boat.
Elowen, what's the last sending stone? What's the last sending message that Abbey got from me?
I don't really remember. It's been a couple weeks now.
Above table, CC, do you remember?
No.
Okay, the last one that Xanth sent that went through was Abbey telling Xanth that the kids were with her and that they were fine. But
Oh,
that
it
was, yeah. No, I wanted to make sure that you are aware that that is the last one that actually went through, on the off chance that Abbey doesn't remember that it happened.
Yeah.
So, that being said, we are marching back.
Michi's looking over Dachi, so Mina stayed with them.
Are they injured?
Just some superficial necrotic
Necrosis?
injuries. Yeah, and the necrotic breath was pretty bad.
Where the fucking gods?
fucking dragon lich. I hate this island.
Agreed.
But we haven't seen anything since it went down.
It was probably the main thing.
Where did Jill end up? Did Jill end up fighting anything?
This is not a story I wish to tell twice.
Okay.
Corvallis, do you have any spell slots left?
Yes, I think I have most of them. Let me double check. I say as I look through I say as I look at my cards, my cards for my spells.
I was gonna say you have 4 levels of, or well, I guess you did that the day before. So
Mhm.
I've out of first level slots. I've got 2 second and 3 third.
all right. So when we get, as we get away from that building, Xantha's gonna look at Corvallis and go, "Fireball it for me, please."
All right, sure. I flourish my card and I cast fireball.
It detonates.
Make the most of it. This is right about the only time that you will be asked like that.
It scorches the stone, but not much else.
I didn't expect too much to happen, but it made me feel better.
Do you wish for me to cast fly on someone in order to help us move things along?
No, we're only as fast as our slowest companion.
But I'm on the creature, so I think. Oh wait, that was rhetorical, wasn't it? I'm going to shut up now.
And I will be carrying Elowen until basically until we get back to the ship.
I needed to remind myself just then which character I was playing, because I was going to say something Mira would not say.
Roll
That's
me an athletics.
Oop. Come on. You can roll.
You manage to keep a hold of her at least for a little while before she slips out of your grip. If you're gonna be this determined, I'm gonna go back here. As she crawls onto your shoulders. As she's just sitting over your shoulders.
I'm okay with that. That is acceptable.
She seems even more able-bodied than last time you saw. When you first met her, she was kind of willowy, but just in the time you've been away while on this island, that willowness has disappeared at least a little bit, turning into hardening muscles.
Does not surprise me in the slightest.
There's no huffing and panting as she crawls around and moves relatively easily.
I can accept this.
Well, it's quite the walk back to Phiren. Will you be joining us? Or do you have something else you need to do before we leave?
We're getting off this island. If you guys have not experienced more undead, we are leaving.
No, once the Draco Lich was handled, we haven't seen much movement.
Then we have done our job. We're done here.
1 second. Callan, Bayleaf, you guys need a ride out of here?
I've already got one. He thumbs up and looks over at Zan.
Yeah, I have that one money.
He grins.
I haven't forgotten.
My ship should be about. I just need to go look around for it. You hear from Callan.
I can come with you if you need help looking for it.
It's on the southern end of the island, near a little cove.
Mira's gonna let go of Dex reluctantly and place herself near Callan to help him go look for his boat.
Mira, roll me history. You don't remember a lot. A lot has happened. You don't really remember a lot of what's gone on, but he does seem to be going in the same direction the party's going.
Hey, you said the south end?
Yeah, the only entrance.
So you should... Wait a minute. Dex, how long have you been on the island? Did you not see his ship?
No,
And kind of...
we didn't. But we haven't been down near the cove in quite a while. We've mostly been searching the northern end.
Fair enough. It should be relatively near our ship, so... Honestly, we can probably just get onto the dinghies, board the Arania, and then just bring him in towards his ship.
And she kind of looks at Callan. You're going in the same direction as us, then, and she just turns around and runs back to Dex and links arms with him again.
You see Callan laughs. No worries. Dex immediately takes yours and pats the back of your hand. Is there anything the party would like to do as y'all are walking y'all's way back towards the ships? Y'all now have Elowen and Dex stats things up if you want.
I think the only thing that Xanth is going to do on the way there is because, while it might have been 2 weeks for these chuckle fucks, since I used the last sending stone, it hasn't. I am going to use my last 3rd level spell or slot. And I am going to cast Sending to Abbey and inform her that I have Elowen and we are alive.
You get informed that she'll meet you in medbay. She's not allowed to leave.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah. Xanth's gonna get a serious look on her face. and look at Dex. What the hell happened to Abbey?
It's actually Elowen that
Abby?
responds. She got eaten by the Dracolich, and she blew up its throat.
She fucking what?
Yeah, it was really cool.
I think Kane is fucking pale and like has to hold himself up on Rosebud for a second.
You get she knuckles her face into yours.
By the Dracolich.
Does the whole crew possess a lack of this self-preservation thing?
Not anywhere near as
Yes.
bad as you. Not anywhere near as bad as you.
Okay.
Apparently that's in doubt. To my knowledge, he hasn't been eaten by a Dracolich. Still looking wide-eyed at Elowen.
Well, they were aiming for somebody else. I think it was Michi. But Miss Abbey managed to kick him out of the way, and then it got its mouth around her, and then she got gulped, and then there was crackling, and then the throat blew up, and then the head blew up, and it was a lot.
I think Kane just looks more and more horrified as she goes on.
I don't think I've ever seen Miss
Okay.
Abbey that angry.
I must ask them for details about the experience.
She said it was wet.
Makes sense.
Okay. The experience was wet.
Therapy. Every single fucking one of us is going to therapy after this.
But is there anything else you would
I
like
know
to ask
I
of them
say
before
this
writing?
all the time, but I'm literally never letting her out of my sight again. She
I
almost dies every time.
apologize. What were you trying to say?
I was just asking if there's anything else y'all would like to ask of them on the way back.
No, because I think that at this point, if we ask more, we're just going to fret. I would rather see them physically so that we can actually, it's like, okay, you are in front of us and are not dead.
And the party makes their way all the way back and onto the Arania, and not long after that, onto the Phiren itself. As you'll see the familiar manta ray-sized ship in the distance. It's not long before yet again you are back on the ship.
Oh.
It is good to be back.
It's
Everyone. Straight to medbay.
Mira's gonna attempt to slip off if she can.
Where are you going to try to slip off to? You'll live in a plane. You going to go hide behind the
Wherever
tree?
we call the bathroom.
Fair. There are
There
those.
needs to be something like that. Yeah. Do I need to roll, or am I just
No,
getting to
because
go?
I know where the bathroom is, so if you're going there, Xanth isn't going to stop you from going to the bathroom. She's just going to look at you and go, meet us in medbay when you're done.
Gotcha.
why do we have this bathroom thing? Isn't that why we have the ocean?
Never say that again. Kane looks appalled.
What's wrong?
Keenan,
I understand.
Oh, go ahead, Tarnum.
I understand not having you're being raised without a sense of self-preservation, but how about a sense of decorum? Honestly,
What? I live in the ocean. Fish do the same thing.
you're not a fish.
I mean, he's part fish.
Is he? Oh, I'm not there. Sorry.
He's
that was
he's
instinctual.
You're good. that being said, he's a sea elf above table.
Oh,
so
I did not realize that. Okay.
technically, or well, the sea elf or a Triton, I don't remember which one.
You see
Blue, which
everybody as y'all are. Oops, sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
blue?
No.
Sea elf or Triton?
Sea elf.
Okay, so I was right. So yeah, he's technically part fish.
Okay, technically, even if he is technically part fish, his other part is not fish. So we have outhouses, yes.
I had with you doesn't mean he did. Either way, medbay, all of you, scoot.
As y'all are passing
Rosebud.
by, y'all do see that y'all get waves from the rest of the crew. As you see, most everybody is here.
Rosebud, you are not going to fit into medbay, but you may stand by the door.
You see they immediately run around and poke their head through a window.
That's totally fine. Like,
Never
you don't have to
underestimate
leave.
this bird's determination.
Here's the thing, is that I will acknowledge the fact that she can poke her head through a window, but we need her to not be in medbay right now. There are too many of us in here.
Okay. Y'all see Doc
But
is still
Janus-
doing his business, and you'll immediately get put in bed.
I'm checking on Abbey first.
Yeah, no, same.
You can see she is sitting cross-legged in one of the other ones, completely covered in bandages.
You got eaten by a fucking bone dragon?
It was more than just bones, but yes.
Janus immediately starts fussing.
Like she is mummified. She's moving, but her entire torso and upper arms are wrapped up. You can see one of her legs is pretty badly wrapped up as well. It goes all the way up to her neck and covers part of the right side of her face, her right eye being completely covered in bandages.
How much would Tarver know about Dracoliches?
Roll me Arcana. Not a damn thing. They're dragons and they're
Oh,
liches.
no.
Well, I know like anything about like out of character. Will I know anything about phylacteries and all that shit?
No.
But I will assume that it's like some sort of corrupted undead dragon, and Targon will say, "What is up with this era and all the like corrupted dragons? Is something going on? Have you guys not told me about something?"
You've been out of the loop for 100 years. I'm sure there's a lot that you don't know.
You'll also
big-
hear the ground rumble. Welcome. It has been some time. You have been missed.
Hello, Phiren. Is everyone on the ship?
We are underway.
Alright.
I should inform you, Canum has found the raccoon and they have fireworks. I believe there will be a display tonight.
That actually,
This
Captain,
isn't terrible.
yes, that could be just what the crew needs after such an ordeal. A little reverie.
Aye. Or you send Misty in.
She is currently dealing with the crew, but once she is done, I will send her your way.
Xanth will nod.
Is there Anything else?
Did Elowen stay in medbay?
Yeah. She's over checking on Abbey. She's also attempting to defend Abbey from Kanan.
Ugh,
So she's sufficiently
unsuccessfully.
distracted, is what I hear.
Yes.
Phiren, I need a fucking whiskey.
You see one pop up from the ground.
I am going to look at Elowen, make sure that she's not paying attention. I'm going to take it and I'm going to just down it and then put the glass back.
Fair.
Because I needed a fucking drink.
Targum is going to look over at Xanth taking a drink and make a decision. One he didn't never thought he would really do. Phiren, could you ask Longway if he has any Shaozing?
He is on his way already. You can ask when he arrives in 20 seconds.
Thank you. Targum will lean back in his bed, looking both exhausted and just. He definitely is not having a good time.
I don't think any of us are.
Mira went to the bathroom, yeah? There's
She's
a loud bang at the door. As something hits it hard.
Mira's gonna stop what she's doing and walk over and opens the door.
There is a dog outside. It's Smoochie! You get jumped
Oh my!
and given doggy kisses.
Mira's gonna sit down on the floor for a second.
You get taken to the
And-
ground.
Yep.
Your face is getting all the doggy kisses.
She is crying and hugging this dog.
They are doing their best to give you cuddles. They are too excited, though. The tail is going everywhere.
She's hugging this dog and she's gotta close the door behind them though.
Okay. But back to the other group. What are y'all up to? It doesn't take long before Doc has gone over everybody, patched y'all up, and grounded everybody to bed rest.
I
That
assume
sounds
the
about
doctors
right.
took their. I assume the doctors took Corvallis and it's something on the lines of, "What the hell happened to you?"
He's not questioning it. He bandages up Abbey. You now look like Abbey.
Okay, so I assume I go to the brig now.
No, you're not going to the brig. Nobody's going to the brig.
Oh,
Would Longway have brought Targum some wine at this point?
Yes, he would.
Or- Targum's going to look over at Xanth. I agree no one should go to the brig, but we do need to talk about what happened in there. Specifically, remember what happened with Mira and Lynn.
There's a lot that needs to be talked about, but the brig's not going to help.
Agreed.
Fucking everyone's going to fucking therapy. None of us are fit to fucking do any of this right now. And we're not going to be.
I truly did think I was at peace with what happened with Tyson, but this makes no sense. We need to find them.
I'm going to assume that we'll get more answers from Misty than anything else.
At hearing Misty's name, Arm will remember the letter. I wonder if my wife managed to get the letter.
I don't know. We'll figure it out, though. But first... How long has Mira been away?
It's been a little while now.
Phiren?
Yes, Captain.
Did Mira pass out in the bathroom?
I do not believe so. However, I do not watch within the bathroom.
Fair enough.
I can, however, feel the tail of the dog known as Smoochie.
Alright. If she's not back by the time that Misty gets back, send Dex after her, please.
Understood. Mira, feel free to come back whenever Mira is ready. But what would the crew like to do? Y'all are banished to the medical ward.
I mean, there's not much we can do. Xanth's not willing to go through this story twice.
Alright, after a little while, Mira will go back and enter the medbay. However, she looks significantly different than the last time that Yul saw her. And I will make the token switch as she comes back very clearly having been crying in there and has chopped her hair to above shoulder length. The very, very long black hair now gone. She comes into the medbay and sits on a bed and says nothing.
Tarkin looks at Mira, like, just staring. Like, did Mira just, like, literally just take a dagger to her hair and just chop it off?
Yep.
Yeah, man, what did you do with your hair?
I wanted it gone. I wanted it gone.
Xanth will nod. And look at Targrim in a, now's not the time.
Captain, I'm going to need to speak to you.
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm going to need to speak to you privately.
Looks at Doc.
He gestures to a room within the medbay.
Xanth's gonna get up. And just kind of gestures you to lead.
Mira's going to walk into the room.
And Xanth will close the door behind her.
Mira's going to stand there for a moment.
You hear
And
something hit the door.
look.
I don't open the door.
Is it Smoochie?
It's probably Smoochie.
This is not a conversation for the pup. I'm
Tarkin
sure everyone will get it.
Tarkin will call Smoochie to the bed to give him attention while you guys have your conversation.
He boofs at you angrily, and then he sits in front of the door, staring at it.
I guess Tarkin isn't liked by dogs.
I think he's just protective.
Yeah, he's just protective.
He was in the bathroom with Mira a minute ago, and now Mira's going to talk to the captain. He's just like, I smell trouble. Oh, I've got trouble. I will break down this door if I need to. If the captain pulls some shit, I'm gonna fight him.
Should I go neutralize the dog?
No, don't neutralize the dog.
Oh, you better not say that in front of Mira. Anyway, Mira's gonna stand there for a moment, look at the captain, and say, I know now's probably not the best time, but I don't think this is something I should delay.
She'll nod.
From this point forward, I will be stepping down as first mate. This crew has gone on long enough without one. I'm sure you'll find a replacement quickly.
Xanth's gonna look at you up and down. And she's gonna nod and goes, I'm not going to try and convince you otherwise. The last couple of days, honestly, that entire time on that island was hell. My only question is do you plan to stay with the crew?
I need to find my mother. This crew is my best chance to do that.
All right.
But I need you to know that that is the only reason that I am staying right now.
I understand. And I don't blame you. Especially not with once we get everything out on the table. That being said, I am going to warn you now that those that wish to stay that were on that island, I am going to require to seek therapy, including myself. We are not fit to fight right now.
That's fair. Good luck with your replacement, or whatever. And she's going to walk past the captain to the door.
Xanth is not going to stop you, but as you start to walk past her, like before you get out the door, she is going, for whatever it's worth, I do apologize. I know I did not make all the correct decisions. And for those decisions that hurt you, I do apologize.
I'm sorry too. This isn't personal, Xanth. But
I'm the captain of the ship, Mura. It will always be personal, even if nobody means it. If I weren't to take it personally, then I'm no captain. I failed. That's my own burden to bear.
no. You didn't fail, Xanth. You're a good captain. They don't trust me. And right now I don't trust them either. That shouldn't be the person to fall back on when you're down. That'll get people killed.
You're not wrong. Granted, I don't think Targum trusts me too much either. He fights me too hard. But I get your point. Which is why I'm not arguing with you. I don't like it. I'm not happy about it. But I'd be a fool to argue.
What it's worth, I'm sorry that I failed you.
This is my ship, Mira. The only one that failed was I. Go get yourself looked over. We all look like shit.
Yeah.
I would also recommend, dear, when you are capable of it, maybe have Dex even out your hair. It doesn't look terrible, but you're a little lopsided.
Sure. And she's gonna turn around and walk out.
Xanth will follow.
There's a
There's
thud
gonna
as
sit-
y'all open the door.
You're sitting with Smoochie on the floor now.
Yeah, you took Smoochie up with the door. He was right behind it.
Oh no, baby!
Oh,
Because he would, like, the door swings out into the main room, and he's, like, an inch from the door, so when you opened it, it went thud, and you went, what the fuck? Smoochie moved back, you
Oh,
opened the door, looked at him.
We didn't slam it open. We just opened the door normally. Would have felt some resistance.
Yeah, no, it's just, you open it,
yeah.
and he's, like, right there, so it's still a thunk. You didn't knock him over, you just, you got him at the door.
It still didn't feel good, because trust me, I've been on the other side of a door that's just gotten opened normally, and while it doesn't knock you on your ass, it don't feel good.
Amir's gonna sit somewhere. She's gonna sit on the floor in the corner of the room with Smoochie.
Smoochie is just in your lap, trying to be a lapdog, despite the fact he's a big pooch.
I know, that is what my dog IRL does.
He's just like, yes, the lap of sitting. This is my lap now. Hell yeah.
Xanth is gonna look around the room at everyone that is currently in medbay, which is so many people.
Yep.
And it's
You
going to
also
go...
notice the half-wing's still in here, too.
Are they unconscious?
Yes, because you told him to keep him drugged till you got... They haven't changed since, you left.
Xanth looks at the halfling and goes, God, I had almost forgotten about that one. That being said, looks at her injured companions and go, anyone else need a private conversation before we go over what happened with everyone?
You hear a slap.
I look for where that came from.
There's a seal.
Xanth looks at the seal. Do you need a private conversation?
It nods, and then it scoots off into the room.
I am going to go have the conversation with this seal and close the door.
It turns around and looks at you.
All right.
And then it goes to nuzzle into something around the corner and starts to grab something. And then it comes back and hands you a bucket that looks oddly like a... Have you ever gotten a edible arrangement?
I have not personally been gifted an edible arrangement, but
you know what
I
they
do
look
know
like,
what
right?
you mean.
It's
Yeah.
one of those made out of seafood.
I look for a note.
There is no note. The seal does not have hands.
It's fair. Well, hey, that just means that it's from the seal.
It nods to you and then goes back to the door, jumps up, catches it with its flipper, opens it, and flops back out.
Xanth is going to come out with this just edible seafood arrangement.
Is my alcohol
Those
tolerance?
shrimps.
Okay, 1 second. What was that, Canis?
Well, that was shrimp.
It's an edible arrangement. And what was that, Targrim?
Do I just have really low alcohol tolerance, or did that seal just flop up, open the door and flop out after giving you what looks like a basket of seafood kebabs?
We're pretty sure it's a selkie.
I don't think anyone's explained to me what a selkie is. I don't know what that is.
You see the seal flops away behind one of the bed, pulls out a captain's cap, throws it on its head. Its head now has a trifold on its head.
Whose hat is it?
You don't know.
Okay, so it's
Oh,
not
I didn't-
Alvara's?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it Alvara's old hat?
Oh,
It is
All right.
not. This one has a fancy feather.
Fair.
I'm just gonna
Long
look.
end of the put it this way, long end of the short of it of what a selkie is it is a seal that can turn into a person when they take their coat off.
Their coat. I look over at the seal flopping away.
Well, it's not flopping anywhere. It's just next to one of the beds, wearing a fucking a trifold now.
You never take a selkie's coat. Then you don't ask.
Fair enough. I'm gonna look at the bottle of Chinese wine I'm holding alongside the cup. Look at the selkie. Look back at the bottle. Shrug and just continue to drink.
Fair.
I want it to be known above table. We have absolutely zero proof that this is a selkie. I am just
She's kind of
eventually.
decided it is.
Yeah, I will eventually speak it into existence. But Xantha's going to look at anyone else. I am going to sit. Speaking that nobody responds, I am going to sit down and wait for Misty to get in here.
Targa will respond. Nothing I have to say can't be said in front of anyone else.
Xanth will nod. But Xanth is going to go back to what has been designated as her bed, and honestly, she's probably just going to just start nibbling on the kebab. She hands one of them to Elowen.
She's absolutely gonna take and happily munch on it, and she takes one and hands it to Mira.
Mira will take it and eat it. She's trying to be as far away from everyone at the crew as possible. She's locked up in a corner with the dog.
Smoochie sniffs it, just like, what's it?
Mira will give it to Smoochie to eat.
Out of curiosity, how is it cooked fish or just like how the hell did they cook it?
Some of it's sushi, some of it's cooked.
We have a chef on board, Targrim.
Oh, I wasn't saying that in character. I was
Okay.
wondering.
No, it still applies. We have a chef aboard. Longway can cook.
But
And damn well at it, too.
is there anything the party would like to do before Misty arrives?
No.
And then it takes a little while, but you'll do hear the door open. Well, Captain, you do find a way to make things interesting. Welcome back.
I'd like to stop that, honestly, all things considered.
Life's too short to be boring.
Life
No.
seems in danger of being rather short when you're interesting.
Yes. Let's go over what's happened then. Yes? I imagine that's what you want.
Aye. What's happened on your end?
We ended up clearing the island. There was a Draco Lich, which is what was causing the undead to rise again. We're not entirely sure if it was connected to the cult that was on here or not, though.
Honestly, probably not, speaking that the cultists were... And Dan's gonna hold up her signet.
As well, it looks like there was a group of pirates that invaded the island at some point. It's why parts of the bay were cleared before we managed to get there. We believe that they came into conflict with the cult, wiping each other's numbers out before the undead horde found the pirates and finished them off. We believe you got trapped in a defensive bunker. Of some kind.
Would make the most amount of sense.
No
Xanthus-
serious injuries, at least not that can't be healed from.
Alright. Anything else of note?
Astrid and Abbey will need a few more days of bed rest. The halfling is still sedated, as you can see. The seal has been here for several days. Other than that, things have been pretty relaxed here on the boat.
Has there been any response to my letter?
Not that I know of. We haven't been back to the city.
Alright.
We didn't want to risk being away should you return.
Understandable.
Fair.
And since the dragon lich was only taken down in the last 48 hours, well, our fighters have been on the mend instead of fully searching the island.
As much as that was absolute fucking hell, I'm going to be honest, I'm glad you didn't find us.
Well, I look forward to hearing what happened, if you're willing to tell the story.
I just had the realization. Where's Dex?
He is currently looking after the kids with Miss Kamara.
He's needed in here.
Alrighty, he'll be here shortly then. It doesn't take long before Dex returns.
Yeah. While we're waiting for Dex to come, I'm going to look at Elowin and go, do you want to go check on your friends? Make sure everything's alright?
They've been here a while, so they're probably just going through basic training.
Do you wish to join them?
Not if something's interesting going on here.
See, if I send her away, she's gonna be suspicious. Fucking parenthood. Alrighty. So Dex comes in.
Yes. He gives a nod to the captain and then goes to check on Mira. Are you alright?
I assume that's aimed at Mira.
Yes.
Yep. Mira, you're muted.
I had to take my headset off for 2 seconds, and I missed something. What did I miss?
Dex is asking if you're alright.
Is this like a whisper, or is this a in front of everyone thing?
He's in front of you, but he's crouched down, speaking low.
It looks like she's about to start nodding, and then she stops. And then just shrugs.
May I join you then?
She'll nod again.
He's going to sit down next to you.
So, once everyone is seated, Xanth is going to go, and she's actually going to pull out a journal and paperwork, and is going to be filling it out as she's saying it because she does not want to revisit this. So she's going to be doing the paperwork for this bullshit now.
Fair.
But she is going to recount, just in layman's terms, everything that happened from the time that we stepped off the Phiren to stepping back onto the Phiren.
You see everybody's listening in a rapt silence.
I'm gonna gloss over most of it, but to get to once we got down into that, I also went to preference, thinking about it. As Xanth is going through everything, she is listing things that happened that shouldn't have, and that is including mistakes that she herself made.
Mm-hmm.
So it is just all laid out on the table of this person didn't listen here, I made a bad call here, Corvallis blew himself up again. It is just, this probably takes a good couple hours to get through, and it is just a list of what went wrong.
Fair.
Oh,
And apparently something else just went wrong.
I just knocked over a bunch of shit. We're just gonna
Oof.
scoot away from that and we'll deal with it later. That's a later's me issue. But once they're going over, when Xanth is starting to talk about, starts going over what happened in the temple specifically, and we'll start going into the fact that we ran into cult symbols, that we ran into the Obsidian Order specifically, as well as describing the 3 individuals we ran into that apparently belong to somebody called the Red Lotus, and looks to both Dex and Misty to see if they know what the fuck that is.
You see Dex shakes his head. I'm not familiar with it, no. I haven't either.
Alright. But after that, she will go into a description of what each of the 3 individuals looked like, as well as acknowledging that one of them was Targrim's son. Kanam's not in here with us, correct?
No, he's currently with Raccoon.
Okay. Either way, I remember he did tell us the name, I just above
Haynes.
table can't remember. Huh?
Haynes.
Haynes. And excuse me as I look up on my backstory sheet to remember the 3rd name. Okay. How did I decide that this was pronounced? And that the woman Ninra Alda. As those were the 3 people in the room. And then we'll continue on giving the rest of the tales up until we ran into Dex.
You see Dex is scratching his chin and writing things down. Mira, can I get an insight?
Yeah. On Dex?
Yeah.
You know what? I am going to use a hero point to give myself advantage on that insight.
You see at the mention of the 3 while going through that, Dex has just a brief twitch of recognition.
Recognition.
You
Yeah.
got it. Mira's gonna lean over and whisper to Dex, what is it? Who is she?
He shakes his head and he continues to listen, but you do hear him tap the book he's writing in.
He's going to look over and read what he was writing.
Specifically, he's just writing down most of what Xanth's saying, but he did scribble on the side after you asked the word Quoric and tapped it.
He's going to kind of nod a little bit to herself and give him a look of we'll talk later.
He continues to listen.
But after Xanth gets through it all, she is going to look at Misty and Dex. Do you recognize any of those three individuals? Because all I have at the moment is that they all have something in common.
Misty shakes her head. I haven't run into anybody like that myself. I, on the other hand, recognize at least two of those names.
Eh?
Haynes and Miss Alda. Both were adventurers lost during the events of Quoric. Miss Alda was taking a job for me when she disappeared.
And at that, I need to roll a thing.
She's rolling a thing. Mira is going to lean over and whisper to Dex. First of all, as Dex is mentioning these events, would any of that ring a bell to Mira as someone who was originally living in Quoric?
No. You didn't have too much to do with the adventurers during this time. You met some of them, but during those events, things went really wonky. You ended up getting separated from Lynn and Pelly and all that. And there's a lot that you don't know about what happened during that time. Because that's when the god got pissed up and blew up half the island. And you
At
got
that point, it
lost
would
in
have
the
been
time warp.
just... Okay.
Wait, okay. First things first. Not Canum. Canum's not here. Canith.
Before that, let's make
Yes.
sure Mira's able to get her thing in, because I was here or say something.
Oh,
no, it's
I
fine.
apologize.
No,
I
you're good.
apologize. I thought you were finished.
I don't really remember. Sorry.
You're good.
No, I apologize. I cut you off. I assumed that my headset cut off.
They're fine, hun. Don't worry about it. Go for it.
Continuing on then. Go ahead.
Canith, roll insight. You have advantage. It's your sister.
Fuck yeah. Okay. Advantage.
Technically, anyone at this point could make that roll.
Inside?
Got a dirty 20.
Oh, yeah.
Dirty
And
20s.
yes, Mira.
Another
Dirty 20s.
Did Targrim or Corvallis want to roll?
Not a dirty 20, but close.
Damn close.
No roll from Corvallis. He's not really paying attention.
Fair enough. Okay. In that case, fucking y'all can see when Dex says that he sent her on a mission, Xanth pales.
Okay.
She's not hiding this well at all whatsoever. She knows what happened to her.
Xanth, what's going on? You
Kenneth
obviously
will
know
try
something.
to Kenneth will try to put a hand on her shoulder.
He actively flinches.
She
Dex, you
will back off.
Dex, you said that she disappeared after the event on Korik.
She disappeared during the incident that led to much of the destruction of Korak, yes. We lost a lot of our adventurers at that point in time. Mira and Lynn were among them, as was your compatriot Shivi. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Miss Alda briefly was working with Shivi. Not as part of the party, but they were working together on something.
Xanth is going to close her eyes. I see. She must have gotten time warped then.
Most likely.
No. 100%.
Please explain.
Because the last time I saw her, I was 14. And she was most definitely dead.
That is unfortunate.
Wait a second. How would you know an adventurer from Korik?
If she got
That doesn't make.
if she was knocked through the timeline, she could have left the island at a point earlier in the stream.
Speaking that I'm 22 now, and the events of Korik happened 3 years ago.
2.
2 years ago, my bad. And the last time I saw her, I was 14, and I'm 22, so I was 20 when she went poof. She was working for someone. Based on what you said, Dex, I am going to assume she was working for the White Lotus.
Perhaps she was working with myself in that capacity. She was working as an adventurer with me, trying to stop what was going to happen to Korik. We got some early readings, but it seems when I sent a team out, we couldn't get out ahead of it in time. Well, you saw the remnants that happened afterward.
Are you 100% sure that it was a god that interfered on Korik?
That's what the legends would suggest. But gods are also known to be great beasts when people start to worship them. Could be any number of things.
Xanth is going to look at Canum. Not Can. Fucking hell. Why did your guys' names have to
I
be
am
so
your
similar?
brother. How dare you?
Canis. I am going to look at Canis. And just. Uncle Founder.
You see Abbey wince.
think Kenneth is like ill and has to kind of like lean against something a little bit.
And after saying that, Xanth looks down and doesn't look anyone in the eye. And kind of, honestly, she kind of just curls up on herself.
Well, normally I'd ask for an explanation. I do not think this is the time. It is an old problem that can wait. You need to recover. And we need to get to you, as you have said, to talk to someone. I would like to hear more on this, as I will need to see if I can find any remaining members of her crew. I believe they had mentioned other individuals. And give them the notice once I can.
As far as I'm aware, she's the only one that he brought in. She's the only one I saw. That doesn't mean much, but...
But you also said you saw her here?
I did, which is... She was most definitely dead last I saw her.
You see, he puts his hand up to his chin, rubbing just beneath the lip. Mira, you immediately recognize this kind of look, as it's one you saw a lot when you were growing up, when Dex was given a really serious puzzle. Like you tried to stump him with a riddle or something, and he'd really start putting his mind to it. You can almost hear the gears grinding in his head.
I think Mira would know at this point, like, I just gotta let him think this out. Like, I'm not gonna interrupt his thinking process. This is a smart guy. He will share the relevant information when it comes to mind. She's confident in that.
Well, is there anything else you need to tell us, Captain? You hear from Misty.
At that point, Xanth, Mira will give you a look of, like, Hallam.
At what?
Mira will give you a look that indicates, like, you're good to go ahead and tell them.
Xanth doesn't meet your eye, Mira. Nods. And just looks at Dex, not quite meeting his eye, and just goes, "Ask your questions now. I want this over with."
There are some things I need to research. I will come back to you when I have them ready. As out of character, Mira, is that what you meant? Because I get the feeling it wasn't.
No. I meant what I told her in the
Yeah, I had a feeling.
in the room.
Fair, okay. Oh, okay.
That's something that's going to be shared with the group.
Yeah, no, okay. Yes, I am also going to tell them that. It should be noted also at this point, Misty, after we're done here, we will be docking, and everyone that was involved in what happened is going to be getting therapy. I don't know how long the crew is going to be out. I don't know who is going to continue to stand with us after the fact. But none of us are in any condition to fight, and we're not going to be for a long time. At least not a couple of weeks.
Well, good news on that front then. I actually have somebody I was looking into that would be perfect for the situation. An individual by the name of Frodium.
I trust your judgment. That being said, we are also down a first mate.
We'll need to figure out how to put them in the place, but now is not the time. Now is time for recovery. We can build up our strength once we're ready.
Xanth will nod. She keeps looking at Dex and Shivi.
Shivi is still unconscious on the bed.
Yep.
And
I kind of
Dex is still
figured.
doing the thinkathunks. The Dex squeezes Mira's knee. I think I need to go look some things up. Would you like to come with me or remain here?
Yes, I'll come with you.
Good.
She nods like very eagerly.
Good. Then, Captain, if you'll excuse us, we'll be back as soon as we can. Maybe a few days before I'm able to question you properly, but you need the rest. I'd advise you take it.
I'll take it. I would prefer you have your questions ready before we get to shore. Because I'm going to be honest, I'd rather get this all out before going to therapy. Because I'm going to need to work through this through therapy.
I'll see what I can do. It may take longer than that to find the information that I'm looking for. If I'm to understand this, I need to know the players that are moving. If I have any that are relevant, I will come to you with them. Misty actually turns to you as well. Nice thing about Proteum, he's a traveler. We should hire him and bring him onto the crew. We go through too much. It will be useful to have one of them on hand.
Fair enough.
Targum will look up at Dex. Would having an image of one of the people we saw help in finding out more?
Perhaps it couldn't hurt.
Targum will sigh and reach it and go down into his pack and pull out his scroll case and pull out a drawing of Tyson as a young man. He looked slightly different, but this is him.
Not one that I recognize. He looks it over for a couple seconds before giving you it back.
Thank you. Was worth a try.
If I find anything of my notes, I will tell you.
Thank you.
He gives you a nod before offering a hand to Mira.
Mira takes his hand and is going to follow him out of the room.
He's going to take you with him. He is going back to his study of many, many books. Smoochie's going with you. Oh, then.
Mira's going to try her best to help in any way that she can.
It's something you are very familiar with. He'll point you towards books as he just starts to spread them out around him. But Misty, on the other hand, go ahead, Mira.
I was going to say, especially now that she has the headband of intellect, she's going to be helping him out. She's very familiar with the way that he does things, so she's going to be working with him.
Misty then turns to Xanth. But I think it's time you got some sleep, Captain. We'll get back to the shore, and then we'll be able to deal with everything else.
Xanth will nod and I'd kind of laugh and just go into her trance. She don't sleep.
Is there anything from Kenneth or Corvallis or Tartar?
I think Kenneth is just sticking near Xanth and Abbey and keeping an eye on them.
Corvallis?
Corvallis really hasn't been doing much. He's just been like bandaged, laying on the bed, just wondering what's going to happen next, and also just wishing that the bandages didn't hurt.
Fair. And then for Targrim.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead, Blue, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. His body still feels like it's still covered in like 2nd to 3rd degree burns.
You blew yourself up, so yeah, it feels like that because they are. But Targrim, what are you up to?
Targum will finish up the bottle and relax in bed and go and just pass out. He's been through way too much to stay conscious.
Then with this, for now, that is where we're going to leave it. I want to thank our players for joining us this week and putting on a good show. And for those that are here listening, we thank you for joining us as well along on this adventure. And I'm very curious to see where this goes next. But before we go, I have one more thing to tell you. Everybody, level up.